Good afternoon. Welcome everybody to 13 News at 4. Great to have you with us. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence. We actually begin with the plan we learned about today. That plan is to help provide relief for working families here in Indiana.
Affordability certainly top of mind for everybody right now. A group of state lawmakers outlined a list of priorities they hope to address during this year's session. Our 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker is taking a closer look at them.
Yeah, the priorities outlined today are the issues that these lawmakers say that they've heard about from people that they represent, and they all come down to one thing: the cost of living. Members of the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus call it their Working Families Winning Futures agenda. One they say addresses issues they've heard about from thousands of Hoosiers at town halls that lawmakers have held across the state in between last session and this one. Among those issues, the cost of housing, utility rates, medical debt, and child care. One proposed bill on the agenda would prohibit utility companies from charging a customer a reconnection fee to restore service that had been cut off. Another bill would prohibit liens being placed on a home because of medical debt. And a third proposed piece of legislation would fund the state's Child Care Development Fund and On My Way pre-K program. Both help low-income families pay for child care and send their kids to preschool. Both saw cuts last year.
Whether it's sky-high utility rates, affordable childcare, or a housing market that often feels impossible to navigate, there are countless problems that we need to solve so that we help Hoosiers not just survive, but make sure that they thrive.
So these are just some of the issues that lawmakers with the IBLC say they hope to address with bills in the House and the Senate. The deadline for filing bills in the House is tomorrow. The deadline in the Senate is on Friday. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Emily, thank you. We're also learning more today about Indiana Congressman Jim Baird, who was involved in a crash in Washington, D.C. President Trump called it pretty bad. His office tells us he is expected to make a full recovery, though, so that's certainly good news. Baird is 80 years old, lost an arm during the Vietnam War, and was elected to his fourth term in Congress back in November of 24. Today, Baird's office released a statement, this statement here, saying in part, he's extraordinarily grateful for everyone's prayers during this time.
One of three suspects involved in a deadly shooting nearly 2 years ago has now taken a plea deal.
Our Marina Silva was in court today as Tyler Gibson took that plea.
A 19-year-old Tyler Gibson pled guilty in court this morning to conspiracy to commit murder in relation to a deadly shooting in March 2024.
Gibson was 17 years old at the time of the shooting. Police say the shooting happened at the wrong home. As IMPD officers investigated Hart's death, they learned a person who used to live at that house was recently charged with sexual misconduct with a minor and child exploitation. That person also had a rape charge in Marion County and a gun charge in Anderson. Two other people are also defendants. Gibson's then-girlfriend, Savannah Allen, already pleaded guilty to assisting a criminal. Joaquin Harmon Seguera, also charged with murder. He has a trial at the end of the month.
His sentencing is set for February 4th at 9:30 in the morning here in Marion County. Reporting at the courthouse, Marina Silva, 13 News.
All right, now to another big story here in Indianapolis today. School leaders now say Martin University will close its doors for good.
And they plan to sell some of their assets. Our Matthew Foltz has been following this story and has the latest concerns from students who say they were left in the dark.
This afternoon, Martin University is practically empty. Only 3 cars in the parking lot. And right now, students are on edge trying to figure out what happens next. In fact, one student tells me she was supposed to graduate in just 5 months. Now she's scrambling to find out if her credits will transfer elsewhere.
A spokesperson with the university referred me to a statement by the university's board of trustees that said that the Higher Learning Commission told them to cease operations after they hit pause last month. That board also says lower enrollment, increasing costs, and debt left them without operating cash. So I asked the university what this now means for students, and a spokesperson tells me that students had a 2-day transfer fair with several schools. However, Jalen Coleman, who was set to graduate this May, says she never got any of that information or resources to transfer to another school.
I pretty much begged Martin for like 3 months to transfer my transcripts, and they never got sent. The university that I was trying to go to never received anything. They reached out to Martin. They didn't get anything. I reached out to Martin. I didn't get anything from Martin.
Now, Martin University also says there are several schools in the area that are working to match tuition of students who are wanting to transfer from Martin University to those schools. UIndy says they are one of them. You'll hear more from them coming up at 5 o'clock. Reporting here in Indianapolis, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
It's got to be so frustrating for those students.
Yeah.
And for some to be so close.
I know,
to
just months away from
finishing.
graduation.
Yeah, well, we'll hear more from Matthew. Hopefully some solutions will appear over the next few days. All right, let us take a look outside, because though the clouds you see right here, there were some peaks of sunshine this afternoon.
And so much warmer. I put a coat on kind of out of habit this morning. Walked outside and thought, I don't really need it today.
I don't need the heavy coat.
Don't go too far.
Maybe something to keep you dry. There was a little bit of mist and drizzle off and on most of the day, but you said it. We've had some peaks of sunshine this afternoon, especially across the southwestern part of the state. That's where they're close to 60 degrees in southwestern Indiana. We're at 50 in Indianapolis, 54 Bloomington, 54 Columbus, 48 Richmond, and 49 degrees in Kokomo and Peru. Cavs Pacers, it's tonight downtown. If you're coming downtown, you may run into a few pockets of drizzle and mist. Otherwise, mainly cloudy skies. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock this evening. Cavs and Pacers tonight at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The low cloud deck is forecast to stick around overnight into early tomorrow. Patchy fog, but I don't think it's enough to slow you down early tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the middle and upper 30s, so we will be a bit cooler than where we started today, but another mild finish tomorrow. Some sunshine tomorrow afternoon with high temperatures 50 to 55. Mentioned we've got a couple of days in the 60s. That happens on Thursday and Friday this week, but that's also when rain chances really start to ramp up. We're going to be tracking almost like a spring-like weather system that will bring rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, and then eventually some cooler air as we dip into the end of the weekend. I'm going to have the local analysis, but this is the weather system that is headed our way for Thursday and Friday. Again, I'll have that local timeline and any threat of severe weather in our forecast in a few minutes.
Angela, thanks so much. On to more stories. Okay, the one that everybody loves talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
The IU Hoosiers will practice again tonight in Bloomington before they head to Atlanta Wednesday.
Getting ready for the big day. We heard from some of the IU offensive stars yesterday, so today Rich and I talked with the other side, the defense, and he joins us now with their thoughts ahead of the Peach Bowl coming up Friday night. Hey, Rich.
Well, of course, the Big Ten Conference has expanded from coast to coast. But Friday night, the Big Ten invades Southeastern Conference territory when Indiana takes on Oregon in a college football playoff semifinal in Atlanta, Georgia. Last night, we got to peek in on practice in Bloomington as the Hoosiers prepare for a rematch against Oregon. IU's 30-20 win in Oregon back in October. That was on the 11th of October. That made the nation take notice that the Hoosiers are a new national power. Indiana carried that momentum all the way to the Big Ten title and then the top spot in the playoffs. And while fans are still overwhelmed with joy and excitement by this historic success, the players are staying focused on what's next.
Words can't really describe like the feelings that we're going through right now. We're just taking it one day at a time, try to go 1-0 each week. Really, I haven't really thought on the season and how well it's gone. I would say like after the season, I would probably do that and look back on it. But right now, we're just trying to go 1-0 each week.
Blocking out the outside noise, preparing like we been doing since the beginning. Just keep playing, preparation. We just try to go 1-0 every week, and that's our goal.
The Hoosiers say the Oregon Ducks have definitely improved since the first time the teams met, but so have the Hoosiers. Coming up at 5, we'll hear from the IU defense about what they take from that first matchup. Does it matter at all as we head into Friday night's kickoff at 7:30 in the Peach Bowl?
Okay, it's exciting.
And Oregon's got to be out for blood. I mean, it's after having lost the first time earlier this season.
On their home turf where they have been virtually unbeatable.
Ooh, okay. And if we didn't learn anything else, you got to go 1-0. So if you're on your workouts, 1-0. One day at a time. 1-0. 1-0.
We'll see you again later with more of your story today, Rich. Thank you. And hey, friends, You're not going to want to miss a second of our Peach Bowl coverage. Dom and Eli are heading to Atlanta for all the pre-gaming, the big game itself, of course, and then the post-game action. You're going to see them during our newscast starting tomorrow, as well as a special on WTHR Plus at 6:30 Thursday night. All you have to do is download our free streaming app, watch WTHR Plus, and you can catch it all. I just saw them this afternoon. They got their suitcases, their bags, their gear.
You know, they've become quite a little duo there.
They have.
Looking good on the road,
A lot
fellas.
of travel lately.
Yeah, racking up the miles.